These days, I use very little. I use chainsaw, bandsaw. I like the immediacy that I can get with tools like that. My name is Burchard. I have been working with wood for about 30 years. We are very comfortable with each other. And I have worked with wood from anywhere from furniture to timber framing, focused for many years on turning wood. But sculpture was always something I'm most interested in. I'm very much influenced by my natural environment. I step out of my shop, I look at the mountains, vineyards surround our place. I have goats, a huge garden. Just that kind of daily rhythm has really become very much part of my work. My studio is always kind of a mess. I'm working pretty much on like 30, 40 pieces at the same time, and then what happens, the pieces that I'm most excited about move towards the center of the room and get worked on. Most pieces start with simple sketches. They're just really quick ideas. They're not pretty pictures. They're just like an idea that I don't want to lose. The focus right now is I pretty much only use madrone burl. Now madrone is in the arbutus family. It's a tree that grows on the west coast. And madrone can get huge burls in the root. These roots are first opened and cut with a chainsaw. And once I opened up a root, it gives me an idea of what the structure inside looks like. And then I cut according to that structure because I know that as it dries, this whole thing will change, but it'll always change according to its inner need, to its inner structure, because as the water will leave the cells, the wood shrinks. So that really changes the form. So I only have a little bit of a control. The rest of it, it's surprises. I have to step back and let it do what it needs to do. For example, for the torsos, the first ones were accidents. When I started to learn how to read the grain, I could predict this a little bit more. For wall sculptures, the process is that I take a large root and with a chainsaw I rough out large blocks. Now these blocks then go on a horizontal bandsaw mill where they're sliced into 1/8-inch thin slices. The slices that will then be dried, and maybe from a block 12 inches thick, I end up maybe with 30, 40 slices. They get dried fairly slow so they can adopt their final shape according to the grain structure. So larger pieces dry naturally, and some of them take a few years. When I work with the books, they're cut green on the bandsaw. It's all done freehand. And I then stick them in a microwave to just speed the drying process. I am into immediate satisfactions often, so the microwave really works well for me. It heats them from the inside out, it makes them soft. I'll stick these wedges in just to open them up, and now the entire surfaces on the pages can dry evenly, which reduces cracking. And this process might take 2 or 3 weeks. The back of the book is much thicker, so that takes longer to dry. So after the pieces have been dried and I've selected them for a particular project, I sandblast them. It softens the surface, it softens the tool marks a little bit, and it generally cleans it up. After the panels have been sandblasted, most of my pieces get bleached. It's hydrogen peroxide, and what I want to do is I want to take the color out so you really get the essence of the pieces, the structure, you know, what's really inside the wood. And then after I bleach them, it gets quieter because I take a lot of the color out, and then they get lacquered. And when appropriate, I determine where I want to put marks on these panels. I use a wood burning tool. It's just like a glowing wire, and start making my marks. The marks that I make are reminiscent of the chop, the maker's mark, the calligraphy on a Japanese print, and I always like that addition of the story. Lately, that's become much more important. There's times when I can just leave it alone and really let just the wood speak. But often, lately, I want to step in there and just add a little bit to it. But in a piece like this, it's really pretty much like a tattoo. It's really amazing if I get it in the right spot, how much it transforms the piece. When I found out about this exhibit from the Society for Contemporary Crafts and the Founders Prize and the theme transformation, it seemed like a really good fit because that's what is my work really about. I mean, a piece like this comes from probably a 100-year-old tree that's gone through many, many, many seasons and many, many changes. And so then to take the little slice right out of the middle and help it become this, I'm feeling so lucky. I'm feeling so honored that I'm, can be part of this. And it has transformed me in many ways. I used to work with wood in a very controlled fashion, and it's helped me let go of a lot of things. It helped me step into a much more fluid process. And I really appreciate receiving this prize. It's a real pleasure to be honored and to be seen for the kind of work I do. And so much appreciate an organization as the Society for Contemporary Craft to support artists, to support the crafts, to have a space like this in which craft is shown. I have a lot of people ask me, what is this? Is this leather? Is this paper? Ceramic? I'm really not trying to make the wood look like something different than what it is. I really like to bring the viewer deeper into the material. I really enjoy the soft textures that I'm able to achieve. It's very tactile. I encourage people to touch this work because they actually can feel what the wood is like in its essence. And it really leads you, into a more intimate connection with the material. Sometimes when I step in there, it is very successful, and at other times I really go way too far, and it seems I don't respect the wood enough. And then it becomes great firewood. And that is just part of the process, and I'm quite comfortable with it. Oh, is this running right now? Oh, I had no idea it was running right now.